Hi there. I started watching the Chosen series again. I found it when I was going through breast cancer a few years ago. I think it was 2021. Um, oh my gosh, it's just such a powerful series because it really helps us pull out the incredible things that we're meant to learn about Jesus. And I feel like this is so important right now because we are going through a time that is really about us choosing, like choosing this heaven on earth. And it's not about somebody coming to save us. It's not about anything going on in the world. It's not even anything going on in our lives. The point of everything, I believe, that was spoken through the Bible and, every form of spirituality, all the great teachers, I believe, were sharing the same thing. And that was that peace, peace lies here in this moment. Love lives here in this moment. Truth speaks to us here in this moment. Joy lives in our heart when we're here in this moment. And I don't believe it's about saying certain prayers. I don't believe it's about praying to certain things or gods or whoever it may be. I don't think that that was ever the the intention. I believe the intention always was to be here in this moment in our hearts. Like I said, where love lives, where truth speaks. To me, this is the embodiment of God, is love, joy, peace, and truth, but I also see things differently. I see it as a divine mother and a divine father. Why would we not have both? So I'm not here to dispute anyone's beliefs. I am here to share what I believe to be true with those people that have gotten to this place where they're starting to open up and see more truth as well. And I just watched season 2, episode 4. And what I've really gotten good at over the years is pulling out some meaning from the stories of the Bible. And I'm not trying to be right. I'm not saying my way is right, but what I do know is what feels true in my body, what feels true in my heart. And so what I continue to hear as I'm, watching these shows about Jesus and also, stories that I've read in the Bible. So many times Jesus says, "Your faith has healed you." So many times he says, "Your faith has healed you." I remember one of my favorite stories was the woman who was bleeding and she touched the hem of the garment of Jesus and he said, "Your faith has healed you. Go in peace." And the episode I watched tonight was the man at was it Bethsaida? I think it was the well or the pool where they all, thought that they had to get into this pool and the first person in would get healed. And this man was trying this over and over and over. And when Jesus walked up to him, he said, "What you're doing is never going to work. And you've been trying this for so many years. Do you want to be healed?" And the guy looked at him like, "Of course I want to be healed. Why do you think I'm doing this over and over and over?" But then Jesus repeated it and just said, "Do you really want to be healed?" And I feel like I could probably talk for like 6 hours on this and what I felt in my heart. And, what I really feel is a huge message is that we're all trying to do it without God. And when we try to do it without God, that is when we fail. That is when we suffer. And when we do it with God. But here's the part of this is I'm not talking about the God that we've been taught about. This isn't the God that we learn about. This is what we feel in the moment in our hearts. And you may not even call it God. Everybody may have something different. I call it the Divine Mother and Divine Father. That's how I see it when I'm in the moment. But that is the message. And I'm just going to scream this far and wide and as loud as I possibly can, because through every challenge that I faced, all my cancers, losing my mom, this really difficult year that I just had, and every single time I suffer, it's because I'm trying to do it without God. I'm trying to control it. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to figure it out. And when I finally just let go and get into alignment with love, joy, and peace and truth, it just works out. And sometimes, like when my mom died, no, it didn't work how I wanted it to, but it still worked because my mom is at peace. My mom died suddenly. That was very, very difficult for us. But I also felt the most peace I've ever felt in my whole life as my mom was dying. I didn't even know she was dying. I wasn't even beside her. I wasn't even in the same town. But as she died, I felt the most peace that I've ever felt before. And that experience actually helped me really understand. Like, I'm starting to, I guess, understand, or I don't imagine, I'm starting to imagine how much peace someone would feel as they're dying. Like, if I felt that much peace as my mom died, that means that she would have felt that exponentially. And that's what makes it easier for me to face, when people die now. It's like, of course we're sad here. And of course it's difficult for us. But if they're at peace, what a beautiful blessing that is for them. So my awareness just continues to be open. And like I said, I just keep really seeing this. Your faith has healed you. And to me, like, what I've recognized is there's different states of mind. I live in fear sometimes. I feel afraid. I feel divided. I feel disturbed by things that are going on in the world. I feel worried. I feel resentful. But what I realize in those moments is when I'm feeling those things, it means I'm not in alignment with love, joy, peace, and truth. I'm not in the moment with, God or the Divine Mother and Father, whatever you want to call it. I am believing the human stories. I'm not in my heart. And when I get into my heart, I become free of all of it, because it doesn't matter, because it's not even the truth. It's just a game, a simulation. It's just like people that are puppets being played on this stage, and it's not ours to understand. It's not ours to control. It's not even ours to take part in anymore. It's gotten so crazy. And so I keep reminding myself of that when I get afraid or angry or whatever it may be. That is me suffering because I'm not in the moment. And when I'm in the moment once again, I recognize that everything is working out for us. It always has been and it always will be. It's purely just a state of mind, but when I'm in my heart, that is where I feel faith, where I just know everything's happening for us. That is where I can enjoy. That is when I do feel peace. That is when I do hear the truth. And then, like I said, then my human parts take over and I start to worry again or whatever it is, but I continue to get back into the moment. And that is where we feel faith. That is where we feel faith, is when we're in this moment in our hearts. And so that's why I'm going to continue to do videos every day to help lead you into your heart, because that is what we need now. That is how we heal. When we truly have faith that everything's working out, we're no longer stressed and afraid. And that is how we actually heal.